I would probably go with this one of the two.
Yeah, I like that one because it's on the slide, so it kind of shows more of the background.
Exactly. It shows a little more environment about this child and what she's doing. Yeah, the other one, they're very, I mean, they're nice little portraits of this little girl. That's for sure. But just try not to get too cutesy with it, if that makes sense to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Not that these have to be really serious portraits. I want these people to be natural in their environment. But like this one here, it's almost a borderline, just kind of a cute little snapshot of this pretty little girl, right?
Yeah.
I think this one's probably fits the realm of an environmental portrait, maybe an editorial portrait, more editorial than environmental.
Yeah, I like it more because she's like doing something. It shows her doing something.
Okay. All right. Well,
okay.
You've got some shooting to do.
Yeah.
You still got a week.
Yeah. I got somebody tomorrow, then 2 more people this weekend, so then I'll be in my people.
Right. Knock them out. And have you thought about what night you want to present your stuff next week? Will it be next Thursday?
I can do Thursday. I can. Okay. I don't have to do. I don't have to be. Yeah.
There are some people who can't make Thursday, so I'm giving them the option of any night next week, Monday through Thursday. So as soon as everybody gets back to me, I will. I'll email the link every day if we have somebody going Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, just so you'll know and if you have time to pop on. But if you want to wait till Thursday, that's great.
Oh, I can do it. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I should be able to do any day because I should be done by Sunday.
Well, if you need the extra time, take it. All right. But
okay.
Thursday's the main critique.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
No, not really. I'm just, trying to figure out this one about she's going to be doing a pop-up. She's a chef, so I'm just trying to see. So she's going to be busy, so trying to figure out how to do that. So a lot of the people the ones that I'm doing, they're like in motion kind of deal, as opposed to just standing and looking at the camera.
Well, I mean, don't make it harder on yourself. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with somebody just looking at the camera. Let me show you what I mean here. Michael uploaded some images earlier, and he's got a really good subject to shoot here. But I think like in a situation like this right here, all it would have taken was, if this woman just stops and looks at the camera, get that eye contact with the lens, and that kind of adds that personal connection with the audience. Right here, I mean, it's a nice shot, but it's very documentary in style, which I'm not negating that as an environmental portrait, but it would be a true portrait in the sense if we had if we had eye contact. I mean, that's that connection you're trying to get with your viewers. Okay.
Okay.
So that's, something just as simple as like, hey, look right here at me. It doesn't have, you don't have to be smiling. There's no need to smile.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of just, hey, take a deep breath. Look right here at the lens. Boom.
Yeah, it's like funny because when they do that, they get very tense.
Right. And that's the difficult part of shooting people who are not used to being in front of the camera. Michael, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening. I'm sorry I'm late.
That's okay. I was just using your photo as one of the examples.
Yes, sir. I see that. So this is one of my girlfriend's close friends, Catherine, and they call her Cat. So she likes to, they have 3 horses. They like to take the horses out to the country. Right. And they do different things. Like they have them herding cattle. They have them herding, I guess, some other animals as well. And then they kind of they compete against each other. When they're riding the horses, they'll try to herd the cattle in one area. They try to pen them, in X amount of seconds. And I may have pictures of that, but they were on the far end from where I was, and I was not able to get over to that other end in time. So unfortunately, I really don't have any pictures of her. And that was her daughter behind her in pink. She and her daughter like to ride the horses.
Well, let me tell you exactly what I just told Teresa and Jasmine. Like, take this shot right here, okay? If you had just, I mean, you've got it composed really well. You've softened the background, so you're using, a fairly wide aperture to soften that background to where your subject, the horse, and your model kind of pop off that background. If you had just had her look straight at the camera right here, get some eye contact. Eye contact.
Okay.
Imagine, I mean, I know catching this horse doing this crazy thing, that's got to be incredibly hard to do. But can you imagine if she was just standing here with her arms, kind of her arms crossed, staring right at the lens? Then you create that connection with the viewer, that personal connection with the viewer. Right here, you've got 5 nice shots here that kind of document this woman's life, okay, and what she does on a daily basis, which can very well be environmental portraiture, but you don't have that personal connection with your viewer because you have no eye contact.
Okay. All right.
So in some of these, I'm not saying you have to have eye contact in all your images that you turn in, but just think about how powerful it would be if she were just staring at the camera right here. This great composition, great shot of this horse. I think you would have a really killer shot. Same with this right here with her daughter in the. I love the boots.
Yes.
If she were just standing there, if she had one hand up on the horse's neck here, and her left hand here was just down to her side, and she was just staring right at the lens, you got a killer environmental portrait.
Okay.
All right. So just think about eye contact on some of these. All right.
Now, I just sent you some images of my third subject.
Okay.
If you could look at those. And they're in JPEG also. They're in JPEG.
Okay. I am going to, let's see here. How am I going to do this? Let's see if I can figure out how to do it. It's going to take me just a second to download all these.
Okay.
Everybody bear with me. That's why I want you guys to send me images to look at. Send them to me before class because this takes some time for me to download.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's your time. I mean, it's just that I'm. All right, let's see what I got here. All right, let me put these into the program real quick. All right, they're uploading right now. Converting, and we should have some images here in just a sec. Let's see here. All right, so what's this guy's story?
He's a painter.
Okay, so
Michael?
I was in, this is Clyde Warren Park, and this was over the weekend. And I just happened to walk by, and he was talking to some people. And I was listening to his conversation, and I was like, okay, this gentleman, he might make a good subject. And so after they left, I just, he started talking to me. And I said, listen, I'm doing, environmental portraiture, and I need to capture people in their element. And I said, would you mind being one of my subjects? He said, oh yeah, sure. So I spent about 40 minutes talking to Zed about different kinds of things. And I'm trying to capture him. And now with him, I was able to get him to look in the camera because I was talking back and forth with him. I built a small rapport with him. So that's what kind of helped. And that was
that's an important part of this whole process.
Yeah.
Is building a rapport with your subject. That's the whole idea behind shooting portraits. That's the only way you're going to get that individual to really look comfortable in front of the camera, is to build that rapport. And by having a little eye contact, you build that kind of personal connection with your audience.
Yes. And that was something that I was not able to do with Kat or with my first subject.
Well, I think you could have with Kat if just right here you said, hey, Kat, look right here at me real quick. Pow.
Okay.
All right. It doesn't have to be, here you've got her in her natural habitat, and you've got a really great composition working here. I mean, it's a wonderful image.
Thank you.
Kat, look at me. Boom. That's all it would have taken. And just fire away.
Okay.
And that sometimes that's how quick it has to be, though, Michael. Shooting something like this, you don't have time to go in there and stage this shot because of the horse, right?
No. Right.
You can't tell the horse where to stand and you have got to, it's that decisive moment. So, but right here, you've got them framed and they're so great. And don't be afraid to, hey, look at me real quick. Boom. And then let her do her thing. Hey, look at me again. Boom. Then let her go back to what she's doing. You'll get it. You'll get some images in there that, and again, this is a really nice image. If she were looking at the lens right here, I think it would just be that much better.
Yeah.
Much like what you've got some with Zen here, that eye contact, I think, makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. It does.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good job, though. That's good. I'm glad you're out pushing the envelope a little bit. That's a good thing.
All right. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions about next week and how this is going to work out? We're going to basically, depending on what night, hopefully, if enough people can do it just on Thursday, there are going to be a few people who can't do it on Thursday. They've never been able to meet on Thursday because of work, and that's fine. I'll send out a link to everybody if it's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And if you guys want to hop on just to look at the work, that'd be great. I encourage that. But basically what we're going to do is everybody has to get their work to me the day before on Wednesday so I can look at it and upload it and be ready to go for Thursday. And then we'll probably spend 15, 20 minutes per student on this stuff. So it's going to go a little bit later, but I figure we've been getting out a little bit early here the last few weeks, so we can stay a little later for final and give everybody their due when it comes to their final portfolio. I'm guessing we'll probably be 8 or 9 people if everybody shows up who normally does on Thursday night. We got a light crowd tonight, but Alex and Natalie will be there and some others. So just, be on time and ask questions about the work. You guys, if you see something you like or something that You want to know why the particular photographer did something, don't be afraid to ask them. That's what critiques are all about. That's how you learn about photography, is actually talking about your work and other people's work. Okay. I want everybody to participate. I don't want to be the only one talking next week. All right. We've been doing this 15 weeks now. And if you had me the semester before, then how important it is to talk about your photography and other people's work. I know it's probably the hardest part about taking a photo class is talking about your work, but it is a part of your education, and it's an important part of it. And I think it's very valuable to listen to what other people have to say about your work and what you have to say about their work. So I'm going to expect everybody to, and I just don't want to, I don't want to hear, well, I really like it. I don't want to hear that. Okay. I'd rather you not say the word like. Okay. I want to hear what works for you and what doesn't. All right. Don't tell me you like it just because. I like this shot because the sky is blue. That's just not going to work for final critique. All right. You guys need to look at the work and really think about it. Think about what the photographer was doing and what the photographer was thinking when they took the photograph. All right. So, it's a tough part of your education, trying to talk about your work, but it is a part of your education, and I'm a big believer in it. So be prepared for that. Be prepared to answer questions about your work. Think about it when you find your 6 images that you're going to turn in. Think about each image. Think about why that image worked for you. Again, I don't want you to jump on next week and just start making excuses saying, well, I wanted to do this, but I don't want to hear that. Okay, no excuses. I mean, if you turn it in, you're going to talk about the work you turned in, not what you wished you had done. All right. But, think about the work you're turning in, and you're always going to be your worst critic, your hardest critic. I'm always going to try to recommend or suggest things you could do to what I think would make it a better image. Okay. But again, it's all very subjective, guys. I mean, it's photography, it's art. You see something that I don't. So I want you to explain what you see and explain why you shot it a certain way. All right. Explain your process to the viewer. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you guys have any other questions? Send me work. I'll look at it. All right. He's got 1 week.
Yeah, I got a couple I want to send you, just
Okay.
to get your feedback on what I've done.
Okay.
Those two additional ones, the adults that I did.
All right. Absolutely. Send them to me. Send them to me. And you guys just it's just 1 more week, guys. Now, as far as next semester is concerned, if you guys are interested, I know I got an email today and I had to request certain corrections to what I wanted listed as a class. The class is going to be listed again as Photo 2 and color, much like this class was listed. All right. But just know that it's going to be in person, face to face. That's what I requested. Now, whether I get that or not, I don't know. But according to the powers that be, is they'll probably grant that request. It will be an in-person, face-to-face class on Thursday nights at Northlake. And it'll be a heavy dose of studio lighting techniques, okay? Using the strobe equipment that's available to us through Northlake. We'll probably have quite a few classes at my studio on Thursday nights, which is not far from Northlake. So just be aware of that if you're really interested in learning about studio light. This might be a pretty good class for you to take. It's going to be really based on more on commercial photography and kind of the inner workings of a photography studio. And again, I mean, it's listed as color photography, so we're certainly going to talk about color theory, probably not in the depth that we did this semester, but we'll certainly talk about it. But there's going to be a heavy dose of learning how to use the strobe equipment and that's available to you at Northlake, and it's, a lot of it's the same equipment I use every day in my business, the lighting equipment. It's really good stuff. They've got good equipment up there. So if you're interested in that and kind of a more of a studio setting, you might look for that class once it's offered and available.
Mr. Milano.
Yes, sir.
Sir, for the class coming up in the fall,
Yeah.
just like they let us borrow cameras, some of that in-studio equipment, is that stuff portable, stuff that they
Yes.
might let us borrow?
They will let you check it out. Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Yeah. You can check out. They've got laptop computers with Capture One. Now they did. This is all pre-COVID that I'm talking about. Now, talking with Kate today, it sounds like everything's going to be available that was, before we stopped teaching in person, face to face, at least before I did. And those are all things we'll work around. Again, a lot of people take that class and shoot to a card. It's not ideal, but you can still shoot to a card. And then, as long as you know how to put that card in the camera raw and open up the image and work on it, that's all kind of part of the process. But there will be, and we'll have extensive classes on shooting to the computer, tethered to the computer, and kind of working your way through Capture One and how to get from point A to point B to actually get an output of a high-res TIFF. So just be thinking about that. It'll be a lot different from what you're used to. I can assure you that. A little more equipment intensive. Before I let anybody check out anything, I kind of run you through the rigors of how to use the packs and how to set up a stand and the proper way of doing it and the way you don't do it. And you kind of have to pass that before I give you the okay to where you can check out the school equipment, because it's all really expensive stuff. And it's very easily it's just really easy to do something the wrong way and break it, and then everybody suffers because we're down one pack or one camera or a flash head or something like that. So it'll be a real basic understanding of how to set up a C-stand, how to set up a softbox, how to plug in a pack, how to adjust the pack for power, the do's and don'ts of all that stuff you need to know in order to make artificial light. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
So even though it says Photo 2, it's going to be is it going to be a different format than this one?
Well, no, the format will be the same as far as the camera format. Or
no,
just
I meant like the project.
It will be a totally different class than what you just took. I'm not quite sure why they insist on calling it Color 2 and Photo 2 or Color Theory, which I think and we will touch on Color Theory, but I already told Kate that it would be more of a commercial type class. And we'll still talk about the Color Theory that we talked about this semester. And it's going to be a very important part of printing, and your output and learning how to print on those printers up there at Northlake. That's all about Color Theory. If your print is too much green in it, how are you going to correct it? Well, all that has to do with that RGB color theory that we talked about. So it'll be different than what you just took, the class you just took, even though it will be called Photo 2 Color Theory. It's not going to be the same class, okay?
Will there be anything this summer? They're not teaching?
Not for me, no.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sure Kate is probably teaching a summer class, but I won't be.
Okay. All righty.
But it'll be a good opportunity for you guys to get in the studio and see some lighting demos. And, I always try to bring in a few professionals in the industry to come in and talk and show you some things. Now, sometimes that works out. Other times it doesn't. It's basically based on their schedule. If they're able to make it on a Thursday night, I mean, it's a lot to ask people, but every once in a while we're able to get a couple to come in and talk to you. And maybe it's a photo assistant, maybe it's a digital tech, who works just on the computer during a photo shoot. Maybe it's a food stylist. In the past, we've done a food stylist because I shoot food and I have a good relationship with some of them. And they're always willing to come in and help me out. But again, it all depends on their availability, okay, and how the class is going. And, you know, and I have a basic idea of how I want the class to work and what I want to get done. But a lot of it depends on you guys, you know, and if we're catching on to what I want you guys to learn, great, we kind of move forward. But if we're still having problems with some of the basic things like the power packs and things like that, I really don't move off of that until we know it, because we just can't afford to mess up on that because the packs are very expensive. And I've never seen a pack, you know, go haywire and blow up on somebody, but it can happen if you don't do things the right way. And it's just some really simple, basic things you have to do and you have to learn in order to kind of progress to that next step. So, you know, we take it slow. I don't just, and it all depends on just how much you guys are retaining. If you guys are picking it up, yeah, we're going to move right along and just get into it. But, you know, every class is different. So it'll be good though. It'll be a good thing for everybody, because it'll be something you've never done with one of your photography classes. All right. Being in a working studio, using the same equipment that professional photographers use for lighting, Capture One, the program we shoot to. I mean, that's what every photographer in Dallas uses, that program to shoot to professionally. So I think it'd be a really great thing for you, but it's not easy, guys. Okay. It's a tough class. There's a lot of work involved with it. It's not like just going out and shooting in daylight and then downloading the image and sending me a JPEG. And there's a lot more to it than that. I mean, you got to check out the lights. You got to shoot. You know, now Northlake has a studio that you can shoot in. You know, I don't know what studio times will be, but there is time for you guys to shoot. So, you know, there's just a lot more to it. All right. It's not like just going out and taking a photograph of complementary colors, coming home, popping it on the computer, doctoring it up and sending it to me. No, you gotta make the time to shoot in the studio with strobe lighting or on location with strobe lighting. And that takes time. It really does. So think about it. Let's see, I just got an email from somebody.
That was from me. I'm just saying
Okay.
that I'd like to be critiqued next Thursday.
Okay, you're in.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other question, guys?
Nope, I'm just working on my photos right now.
All right. Well, you guys have a week to put it together. All right. If you need anything, just contact me. All right. And contact me on both emails to make sure I get the message. You know, I mean, I was out of town last week, but I pretty much check the email every morning.
What's the ME, like that's the one I sent it to previously.
That's my business email, gmilano@me.com, but I didn't get anything from you on that.
Oh, that's weird.
There must be I would check your send folder and see if maybe there's there's a letter out of the whack or something.
Okay. Well, I just copied it from an email that you sent me.
That's weird, because I've been checking them.
Is it gmilano@me.com?
At me.com, yes.
Yep. Oh well. Maybe he didn't recognize me and threw me to junk mail.
It could have been, but yeah, and again, I'm really good about going through junk mail, but I can also, like, I was out of the studio for quite a few days, and I kind of scanned through it and just selected them all and trashed them. It could very well have been in there.
Oh, okay. No problem. It's technology for you.
All right. Anybody else? you guys know what you got ahead of you here, right?
Yes.
Okay, get busy, get shooting. Kate will probably join us next week for our final on Thursday. So that'll be really good to get her opinion on some of this work. So you guys, do it up. And also, I sent an email out about the end of semester surveys for the class. You guys should be getting information on that through your school email. It's not required, but the school, asked me to, tell you guys to fill out those surveys of the class and what you thought of it. And here's your chance to rail on me if you want to. But anyway, it's there. It's I'm trying to think of where you got to go to for that. Let's see here. Let me find the email here. Yeah, encourage participation in the course evaluation. You go to the course evaluations in eCampus and pick the course, and you can evaluate the course, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and all that good stuff. Okay. Sound good?
All right.
All righty, guys.
Yes, sir.
I will be sending out an email in the morning. I believe I told everybody in the last email that I need to know by tomorrow. I want to know by tomorrow when you want to have your critique. So far, 3 of you have gone with Thursday, and that's good. I'm really expecting most of the students in the class to critique next Thursday. There will be a couple that can't simply because of work. And we've been meeting throughout the semester on like a Monday. So, but I'll let you know if there's going to be another evening that students are showing their work, and I'll be sure to send out a link that you guys can pop on and take a look at their work. All right.
I would like to Thursday as well.
Okay. So Teresa and Jasmine and Michael are Thursday. Okay. That sounds good. I got you 3 down for next Thursday. Looking forward to it.
Okay.
All right. If you guys need anything, just contact me. All right. Let me know what's going on.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Good job on the images you turned in tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Good job. Keep shooting. Looking good.
I have one more person. I may have a 4th person. It's my daughter, and I was going to I can't take pictures of her at her job, but I was thinking, you said environmental portraiture doesn't necessarily have to be someone in there. I wanted to capture pictures of her and her dogs, is what I was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm answering an email as we go here. Yeah. I mean, if it is, if that is part of her environment.
Well, her dogs are definitely part of her life. She's young, she's not quite 30 yet, and thinks her dogs are her children. So
she's very young.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just again, don't make it a cutesy glamour shot.
Okay.
All right. Just, make it like, think about the artist you just shot here, right? The eye contact. Think about the shot of, was her name Kat?
Kat, yes, sir.
Yeah. Think about this shot with Kat and Kat just turning and looking at the lens. No smile. No, not a mad serious face, but just a real clean, plain look. Like this is what I do every day. I'm here with this horse in this environment with this hat and this sweatshirt. This is my environment. This tells something about me. All right?
Okay. Yes, sir. I understand.
Good. All right. Good job. Anything else?
Nope, I'm good so far.
All right. Okay. Well, hey, you guys contact me with any questions.
Okay.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you, sir.
Thank
Have a
you.
great weekend. Be safe.
All right. Good
You
night.
too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.